Master Grade Jesta. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert 184, 2 R's, 2 B's, gundam.tk, and I'm not joking or jesting here. It's time for me to take a look at a Master Grade Grunt. Not something I do all that often, but it's a very cool and special one from the OVA Gundam Unicorn, which has a lot of fans excited. April 2013 release, 4,000 Japanese yen. Great looking cover art there from Bandai, perhaps some stuff we could read into. There's the name bar in English and down below in Japanese, RGM 96X. And don't forget, when you're looking for kits like this and lots more great stuff, try out HobbyLink Japan, and there's full links below. Now, Gundam Unicorn models seem to sell like hotcakes no matter what size and scale here. And the Jesta is going to be a lot of fun because it takes the old traditional gym design, brings it all the way forward to well after Char's counterattack, and then spices it up and adds in a little bit of tri-star action, which may seem a little bit blasphemous if you're a fan of the original Zeon bad guys, or good guys, depending how you want to look at it. With the three of them in action there, you can see base jabbers underneath depicted very clearly, and down at the bottom there, they actually have a Jesta cannon. We've already seen them both released here in high-grade Universal Century form. It's just a question of whether we'll be getting a follow-up to this regular Jesta. Would it be an add-on or could it be a regular MG release? And with them being depicted that clearly on the cover on their base jabbers, various versions are going to be coming out in HGUC in various colors. Could we be getting a 1/100th one to recreate your famous and favorite aerial battles from the Unicorn OVA? But enough of possible future stuff, it's back to the matter at hand, and why is the Jesta so popular? Well, it's not going to come across as having a lot of crazy features, but it's going to be a solid kit, whether it's in high-grade Universal Century, and you'd think all the more so now that it's going to be bumped up a grade to the Master level. There's a name over there, they're talking about this coming out of the OVA, and you get a front and rear view of the MS. Of course, for colors, it's going to be pretty scaled down, but when you get in there and you really stop to look at the color separation, just incredibly small distances between the various colors there, especially in the chest section. It worked incredibly well on the 1/144th, should only be better here with the extra money that you're paying. And let's see what you're going to be getting, because you can see on there that there's going to be a yellow mark on the shield. A question, will it be a seal? Will it be plastic? Also, these white parts here had to be actually painted on, which I went and did with the HG. You know the MG is not going to have that same problem. But here's the feature that's going to be the big difference maker. First of all, the shield is an incredible gimmick for the Jesta. It's going to look good either in its out, which you can see here, or its in position there. And with the HGUC, you actually just took that arm and swapped it on and off there. So make sure you've got your Ziploc at hand. Master Grade, though, you know that there's no way they'd allow that, as you can see it in its folded up position and extended out. Look at that massive amount of twist and the number of moving parts there, as it can be held clearly in the hand and extended all the way out. Cannot wait to see this in action. But besides defense for offense, it's time to look at the beam rifle there. Nicely done in some realistic looking colors. It looks like it's going to have some clear parts up there for the scopes, and you are going to be able to mount it on the custom mount rack on the back of the Gundam. And something that no high grade will ever catch up on, well, at least not for another 20 years. Take a look at that inner frame there. That's looking fantastic for the legs and the arms. Tons of details there on the inside if you wanted to paint them up, or if you could ever get some clear covered parts. This would look pretty fantastic, but of course I'm going to be a lot more interested in how it looks when it's all armored up properly. They're going to be talking here about the style that they tried to go with. Yes, the Jesta was fighting with gravity, and it's got a heavy feel to it, and that's what they tried to recreate. The beam sabers there are going to be pretty standard in terms of weapons, but they still look great, because look at this. You can pull it out of the actual left forearm there. If you can actually reach all the way across with the right arm, that's going to be incredibly impressive. Can't wait to try that out. The arms are not symmetrical, so you're actually going to have different magazines over there in the right forearm, looking cool. Moving thrusters there on the backpack and the hand grenades, whereas the HGUC is just going to have 3 over there just as a single piece. It looks like the Master Grade might have 3 separate ones. So good stuff so far until you go down here, and this is going to be featured at the bottom, and maybe this is why. The cockpit hatch is going to be opening there, probably a couple moving parts. But if you look at this, yes, whenever you've got a team of 3, it would be nice if they actually carved you individual figures, and instead you're getting generic Londo Bell pilot, who's going to be standing and seating. However, it's the same kind of thing that's disappointing. Why not throw in 3 of these, unless that's the kind of bonus that could entice you to buy another version of this MG in the future. Now, sometimes for me, kits and MS design, simple is better if they're going to come across as being solid, and I'm hoping that this kit is not going to disappoint. Action poses there, nothing too dynamic, but they are going to be pretty solid. But then if you can actually get a full kneel down there, which is going to be ground Gundam style, then you couldn't call it simple, that's for sure. In terms of the moving parts, check out the shoulders there. You're going to be able to get them stretched out all the way, which hopefully is going to help go across and grab that beam saber. The chest, the details there, I'm always reminded of Soundwave, is going to be looking fantastic. And for the markings, Anaheim Electronics or Londo Bell EFSF, take your choice and put them on. But now for something that many people are going to be hoping is becoming fairly regular, Emotion Manipulator SPs are going to be attached. Take a look at the size of the peg there that's going to be fitting into the hand. Hopefully these weapons and the beam rifle are not going to go anywhere. And check out the details there on the inside of the elbow. You can see some nice moving gears. And look at this as you're looking at the swings there. You can see that they're going to be moving in 3 places. If this pulls off, it's going to be fantastic. The legs should also have a pull mechanism that's going to be involved in the knee bend there. And the ankles, if you can see them moving like that, that's definitely going to help get them down on the ground. And the hips are going to have the nice rotating one that should be moving independently. Now this is a feature that you'd figure mono-eyed bad guys, good or bad here. Well, I shouldn't say bad guys then, but the idea is that if you've got an eye, light it up. And if you can do that in Master Grade 1/100th form, it just seems like a perfect fit there. As you can see though, you're going to have to get your hands on the harder to get red ones as opposed to the very frequent 00 green ones. And I've got one of these, so hopefully I'll check that out if I can go pick up some batteries over the next couple days. And finally, if you want to talk about a lack of flash, I think this is the definition of it in Master Grade form. Over on this side, you'll see plates, a little bit of yellow up there, can't wait to see that. Decals down there, a beam saber, and a pilot, and an action-based connector. That's it. All of the focus and all of the weapons are going to be included on the body or in the shield or on the hips. Can't wait to see how this is going to go. The colors here look just as good as they do on the pro-painted one over there. All deckled up, looking like a mean piece of military hardware. And it's inside the box we go, where you're going to be treated to an old school set. It looks like an A-plate there. 3 colors on there to go along with some pink beam sabers. Lots of blue and gray as you'd expect, but clear orange to go along with decals. And your regular seals. More blue and gray, more blue and gray. You can see that whole idea just permeating throughout. But at the bottom, that's another pleasant surprise. Clear orange and some clear parts there. That's going to be used in getting the light up into the head, and that manual with that great cover art again. So inside the manual we go, where you get some story about Gundam Unicorn. Never a dull moment there. And you can see the advancement with the Jagan going up there to the Stark Jagan, the old school MSV from Char's Counterattack, up to the Echoes there, and then you've got the Jesta and its power-up form, the Jesta cannon, and it's HG, it's going to be listed there. Yeah, wonder if there will be an MG there. More information, and look at that shield as it's going to be moved back, showing off all that cool inner frame. Can't wait to see that in action. And as you come over here, the mechanisms. Yes, the hand grenades there as you want to reach in. The backpack with the moving throttles there, the thrusters. And the Tri-Stars. You've got Nigel Garrett, and you've got Daryl McGuinness, and Watts Stepney. Is he the guy who keeps getting stepped on? Anyway, that's a lot of fun. And some fictional parts down here for this fictional MS. Everything about this kit just screams solid and old school, and if you're looking for signs of the cannon on there, there's only a few of the plates here that are going to have these ready-to-be transformed plastic parts there. It's the manipulators that are going to get a lot of attention. And down here is the order form if you want to go order 1, 2, or 3 sets. And you can see the price there if you want to go ahead and order them up. There's the table of contents there, how to put on the dry decals, and it's time to build up the chest. Not a very fancy cockpit there. You don't expect anything cool in psycho frame, spherical, or anything like that. But it should be pretty solid as you seal it up there. And you do have that ball inside, or that's going to be provided by the light. That's going to be pumping through the head. Can't wait to see the clear parts for that. But then it's going to be the arms that you put together. That mechanism in the elbow looks incredible. Extra attention is going to be paid to the manipulators there. And after you put together the waist, it's time for color splash page there. UC 0096, the Laplace memory up there. And there you can see them flying with one of the cannons on a couple of old school base jabbers there, looking fun. And yes, there's your various shades of blue, and gray that you're going to be putting all over the place. Very disappointing about the pilots. Like, hopefully that's going to get fixed in the future. And one point touch, usually they don't show. You can see the circles there on the top of that light blue part. They usually just show you what go around there with an edging marker, but instead they're actually filling the whole thing in. in black, but of course, how you want to go ahead and do that 1-point step is going to be up to you. The manipulators are looking good, the beam sabers, the red lights, everything is looking fantastic. Just a question of how the Jesta would stack up next to these, the big bad stars of Gundam UC. Small parts seem to be abounding here as you're building up the waist section, showing gray through blue through dark gray. Anyway, can't wait to see it. And then once you get it all put together there in terms of the legs, the backpack is going to have some decent parts on there. And check this out. It looks like you're actually going to be putting in a yellow mark there for the emblem of the Federation. That's fantastic there. Small white parts there are going to be going into the shield. No need to paint up your own. And there you can see all the fantastic bends that are going to get that shield wherever you want it to go. Here you can see the parts are going to be attached into the forearm, how to put the light in there, the beam saber and how it's released, and that custom rack there for storing the beam saber. And they're actually going to be showing you a whole page of how to get this out into that kind of fantastic pose. How cool would that be to have 3 of them? And check this out, you're going to be able to slide down the knees. Can't wait to see that in action. The hips are going to move custom action base, but a little bit disappointing that at the back you're not going to have color information here when they're showing you where to put on the seals and decals. But on the back, it looks like Optimus Prime died down there, or it's an Echoes version. Some great back shots and a front shot. Can't wait, as you've already heard. So that'll wrap up my unbox here for the Master Grade Jesta, looking great off the hop and just old school classic with that new kind of sensibility built into it. Can't wait to... So that'll wrap up my unbox here of this old school classic, yet with a very modern sensibility here in terms of the coolified grunt. Don't forget to stick around for the next part where you'll see all the plates and stickers and seals and see how those are all going to work before seeing it all put together. Anyway, everybody, love to hear your thoughts on the high grade, on the Master Grade, and on its future prospects. And stick around for lots more. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.